Transpocalypse Manifesto the other days at the VMAs. Maybe you saw that. Maybe I'll put a link in the description box. I think it's an important thing. There's been a lot of these kind of things at these award shows in the last year. Key turning points in the transpocalypse. But first, I think we'd better identify what Pink's gender actually is. And one of the most prominent features on Pink, there's quite a few prominent features, I'd say, but most obvious one is the Adonis belt, the torso area. It's got muscle development that is very rare to find on a woman, if ever. So I looked into this, and this is it right here, that V-shaped abdomen, basically, is what we're talking about here. It's pretty rare to find that in a woman, especially as prominent as you see it here on Pink. The width of the hips and also the, in relative to the hips, the broad shoulders. Now, these shoulders are not immensely huge, but they are more broad than the... Now, here's the torso of a man. You notice the V-shaped abdomen there, the Adonis belt, okay? And here's another torso. You can see very similar, right? It has the same V-shaped abdomen. And also take a close look at the men on the two sides there. You'll notice that they have very narrow waists as well. So their hips are actually wider than their waist because these guys are pretty ripped, you know. They're very low body fat. And that's the exact same shape that Pink has. So don't be thinking Pink has female wide hips. They are wider than the waist, but they are not wider than the shoulders. Okay, so the... in the trannies that I've been showing you over the last year and a half or so, they all have this, right? The Victoria's Secret models have the same body shape as the two men on the sides because they're just ripped. They're in good shape. They're thin, right? Diet, exercise, and corset training, whatever it is. So a man's body can get the hourglass shape to a certain degree, okay? You see it right there, all right? Now, if you just put a dress, makeup, and just feminize those dudes, they could pull it off too, just like all the other trannies I always show in my videos, okay? So there it is right there, the male body with the hourglass figure. It's the same as the tranny body that everyone thinks are real women. And I looked online just to see if like real women were getting this kind of phenomenon, people who worked out a lot and stuff. And most people talk about Pink. Like Pink is the example of the V-shaped abdomen on a female, really. And it says here, according to this site, it's very dangerous, very harmful for a woman to have low body fat like this, actually, and which is being promoted by the media, of course. And it looks like the result is infertility. Wow, what a coincidence, huh? The mass media trying to make human beings infertile. Never would have imagined it. Now, here's one I found. You know, and again, we have to ask ourselves, are these real women or not, you know? Now, here's another one that as this personal trainer that came up. Now, I don't know who this is. It could be kind of a well-known personal trainer, but that's a man. That's a tranny, okay? So if you're going to use an example, what happens is that it's only trannies that come up. And if we compare it to Pink, I mean, you know, I'm just doing the due diligence here, the best I can. You know, it'd be great if Pink turned out to be a real female. That would be awesome, you know. But I just don't see how it's possible. I don't see how it's possible that Pink is a real female, okay? Now, according to what Pink just said at the VMAs, Pink regards itself, I should say, whatever it is, as androgynous demigods that are better than the rest of us, okay? She talked about androgynous rock stars, mentioning a few by name, that they're better than the rest of us. Selling out arenas, they are these are the X-Men, all right? You see the male hip bone below the navel. You see that right there, man? Pink. Promoting, no, not even hiding the, most tranny celebrities would hide that. So this person, the role of Pink is to promote the androgynous image. Like he said at the VMAs, promoting androgyny. That's what the mass media is all about these days. And it's really, there are no androgynous humans, you know, unless there's some kind of rare birth defect or something. These people are trannies, all right? Born a man, now taking on the appearance of a woman, some kind of a occult ritual so that they can become inhabited by demons, right? It's an abomination according to God. That's why they do it. And now they're running around the world like demigods, right? They're celebrities, men of renown. Cover of Shape magazine, look at Fight, Flab, and Win, right? Okay, you got trannies on the cover of these women's magazines promoting a dangerously low body fat and flat abs and discouraging pregnancy. And now Pink, apparently, right? They say Pink had 2 babies. No, it's a fake pregnant belly, okay? So you're going to see some photos. I'm just going to babble on about this, okay? Broad shoulders and the skull. Don't forget about the skull. Now, they appear to have feminized the face to some degree, but yet it's a very large skull. You got to look at the underlying bones. Don't be fooled by the makeup, the surface, all right? Look at what's beneath the surface. Now, it has a short hair, right? So it basically is trying to come across as some kind of butch dyke who is actually not a dyke because it's, married with children and stuff, right? So it appears to be a butch dyke at first, right? And that's kind of the image it's promoting. And then a lot of the songs and stuff are about being a victim. And, oh, people make fun of me because I look like this butch dyke tranny. It's like, well, you are a tranny. The lack of female childbearing hips. I mean, how did this person have babies without any hips, And it kind of looked a lot more masculine back in the day. So they feminized it a bit. If this person really had long hair and was trying to be more feminine, then it would be more obviously, it would fail. It would look like a tranny more than it does now. So it's pretending to be a butch dyke. And it's a strategy you see all throughout the celebrity world. A lot of them are, they claim to be lesbians and stuff. Then you say, well, I guess that's why it seems like it has such a low voice and, seems like a butch dyke. Well, they're trannies. These young photos, in a way, they don't even look real. It doesn't even look like a real person, really. Something off with these photos, So they transition at a very young age. Basically, they're raised like this. All right. You wouldn't see this kind of lean muscle development on a female, I mean, I go to the gym, right? I see women who work out, they're in good shape, but they don't look like dudes, all right? They look like females in good shape. They don't look like men in good shape. It's a big difference. It's basically a big old tranny cabaret show. That's what the entertainment industry is. Hand on the hips, right? Now, this person does have relatively short arms as well, compared to a lot of the other trannies we've seen. So, it manages to pull it off, right? It's deceived millions of people around the world. Occult symbolism going on with this person with the tattoos, dragons, and Eye of Horus, and the whole deal that we always see, The way they pose is trying to cover up the hips. That's why the hand is right there on that pose. For some reason, it used to cover it up back in the day, I guess. And those thighs, look at those thigh muscles, and even the calves. I mean, it's just kind of a stocky dude is what it is, with makeup and sporting the short-haired do that makes it look like a kind of this androgynous butch female. That's what everybody thinks Pink is, and that's what Pink claims to be, right? That's what he claims to be. There's one of these corset dresses, right? That dress is going to be hugging in the body as much as possible, promoting androgyny to the masses because they believe God is androgynous, and they believe the human beings were created androgynous. And they're trying to get back to that, Look at this. Look at this video, man. Almost 300 million views, all right, of this tranny who's lying to everybody. 7 million subscribers, okay? Satan uses mass media to try to lead us all astray. So he's trying to get us to commit all these abominations and to worship them as false idols. And here's something from Plato, one of the fathers of Western thinking, right? Philosophy. Zeus created 3 genders, men, women, and androgynes. The androgynes were split in 2, and since then, each half has been searching for the other. This is actually not an unusual creation story. That's what I find interesting. This is actually not unusual, this philosophy. This is what the Freemasons believe. It's what the New Agers believe. It's what the Gnostics believe, okay? And they all go by different names, but they all believe the same things, that human beings can become gods. How do we become gods according to these freaks? Become an androgyne. That's what they're promoting. Transhumanism, right? It's part of transhumanism. It's not just man and machines. It's combining the two genders into one. In real life, right, the way God created the world, a man and a woman come together as one flesh. Two people, one flesh. These people want one person, one flesh. One person is both male and female instead of two people. All right, and look at the press that came out. Beginning of a revolution, the transpocalypse. That's what I'm trying to talk about here on my channel. And no, that's a fake pregnant belly. Pink is not pregnant. Look at that, man. Is that a mother with a baby? Or is that, who is that? What is that thing, man? There's the husband through the looking glass. Yeah, well, that's a good background to have because it's all an illusion, man. Right? The husband with the widow's peak, Who knows what's going on there? And the kid, man. Hey, it's a little kid. I don't want to talk about the kid, but I agree. I agree with the kid. It looks like a boy with long hair. It very well could be a tranny kid. And most kids of celebrities are trannies. Michael Jackson, David Bowie, Prince. Now let's look at Prince here. She called Prince an androgynous rock star. A lot of people, and look at his wife. There's Prince's wife, clearly a tranny, ex-wife, whatever. He had this sign, the combination of male and female symbols, the tranny symbol. But when you look at Prince, what is he? Do you think he's a woman? No, that's a man. Broad shoulders, straight up and down torso. He has the same body as Pink, okay? Prince, I believe, I wasn't sure at first because he's so androgynous, right? It's hard to tell. A man wearing makeup is still a man. Prince is a man. Now he's a woman, okay? The third eye. This is all occult, satanic BS, all right? Now, Prince is a tranny. That's Prince right there, pretending to be his sister, Tyka, however you say it. That is Prince with a disguise. Pause the video, take a look at it. Who wears glasses like that, okay? And look at that wig it's wearing. That's Prince, okay? Tika Nelson, this person here, even said Prince is alive, even more alive than ever in his most authentic self, something like that, all right? Prince is now a tranny, okay? Prince is a man who is now living as a woman. He's not dead. He's not a drug addict. It's hard to die of a drug overdose if you're not a drug addict. Pink is a man. Prince is a man. They both wear makeup and try to pretend to be women. Every time Prince comes in public these days, he's pretending to be his sister, Tika. Pink proclaimed the Transpocalypse Manifesto, as well as Miley Cyrus, and who was the other one, that Harry Potter actress the other day, a few months ago, I should say. Genderless awards and all these things, and they're not really androgynous, they're trannies. But they think they're androgynous demigods, and I believe it's because they're demonically possessed. And I know that's people don't agree with that, but that's the worldview that I currently have. I did not used to believe in any of this stuff before. Pink is a tranny. It's quite obvious. It's almost too obvious, right? You think, well, they couldn't put this person out there. It's just too obvious, but yet they do. And nobody even says anything. Nobody even cares. Nobody even notices. And Pink is just 100% a propaganda artist. Albums, misunderstood, all these things. Trying to convince people that, hey, anything goes and it's all okay. What's the problem, They're trying to just get people to accept androgyny as the new norm. In fact, there's a movement going on now to outlaw gender on birth certificates. Once that happens, it's all over. Because then there's no record of what gender the person actually was when they're born. They're calling it child abuse by determining somebody's gender when they're born by looking at their body. They're claiming now that is child abuse because we don't know what gender it is according to them. They'll find out eventually, right? You can choose your gender now, basically. Choose your own gender. That's the society they're trying to create right now, and they are creating it. And Pink is a propaganda agent. All right, so in the near future, they're going to make assigning gender at birth illegal. They're going to call it child abuse. Infant gender assignment, I think is what they call it now. And they're saying that this is harmful and bad and needs to be outlawed. It's not really about gender. It's not really about sexuality. It's about taking over the human race, controlling biology. It's about controlling breeding. It's about transhumanism and changing humanity into something God created into the image of Satan. Satan is trying to recreate the world in his own image. All right. So yeah, the main point, all celebrities are involved in this androgyny worship, pushing this belief system. Is there now the big storm's coming now, so I got to stop talking because a storm's a brewing, man. Storms are coming. The transpocalypse is here.